You are listening to The Twilight Effect, an unofficial Twilight podcast. Hey, welcome back everyone to The Twilight Effect. Thank you so much for being with us. On this episode, we are releasing for you the Q&A after party from the live event that we did with Peter Facinelli. I think it's going to be really fun for everyone who wasn't there. I just remember it being a blast.
There's really good questions.
Yeah, really great questions. I feel like that's the thing. You guys make it very, very easy for us because we just like go to the fans and we're like, what questions do you have? And they're always such great questions. And it's crazy to me that at this point still, this many years later, that like I still get surprised by the questions that we get. And I'm stumped a lot of times.
There's also a whole new generation of Twihards now.
That's true.
With new perspective. And yeah, that's what makes it so fun as well with all the different questions.
Yeah, that was actually, I mentioned this last episode, but at the event that I went to in Portland, it was really cool because I got to see like a younger girl and like her mom and her grandma, like they all came and they had all been Twilight fans and I love it so much. And so she had a couple of questions for me and it was that where I was like, wow, I've never been asked this question before. And it's because she's just a whole new generation of fan. And so yeah, the perspective is totally different. I feel very old, but it's very cool to see.
Girl, I just turned 40.
Where I'm like, these youngsters just have a whole new perspective.
I know. What a trip it'll be if Lana grows up and is like a total Twihard.
It's going to end up being a classic.
End up being a classic.
Well, like, like one of those things, I feel like 50 years from now, like people will still end up watching it. Hopefully. We're already 15 years in, so we're doing pretty well. Or we're like,
well, and I have all my signed books now, and those are going to be like worth something someday.
Oh my gosh. Someone also had a signed book that came in and it was like weathered and like, it was kind of like, I feel like when the books are like a little like messed up, it makes them way cooler. And it was signed by literally everyone. And these are the things that I regret is not having like toting around my Twilight book while we were filming, going like, everyone must sign it.
That's how I felt after Julia left and I didn't have her sign it. I was like, oh my gosh, my life is over. But
well, lucky for you, I can just have lunch with her. And
I need that to actually happen. Hold on. When you say people had their book signed by literally everyone, you mean the fans?
One of the fans that came to the event a couple weeks ago, she came in and had this book and it was like worn and weathered. And I was like, wow, this book's been through it. But she had everyone's signature. Like everyone.
How?
I don't really know.
Just like all the
I was on set and I don't have everyone's signature. So good for her, but I was slightly, so I told her, I was like, I'm slightly jealous. But anyways.
I wonder how much that's worth.
I should have been like, what do you want for it? She wouldn't have sold it to me.
That would have been weird. Yeah, I sold my, can you imagine?
Ashley Greene was super weird and would not let me leave the fan event until I sold my book to her.
I mean, I'm really curious to know the price tag on that.
She'd be like, do you want to put me through college? And I'm like, oh, I probably would have said yes, but now I have a kid. So now I'll just be, I have a script that's signed by like the core cast, but it was just like very cool that she had,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, wow. That's actually really cool because that's stuff you can't get.
So, that's neat. Anyways, back to the show. We're going to let you guys listen to this Q&A. I'm excited to see if you have any questions that pop up after you watch this, things that hadn't been answered. So we're going to come back to you and make you do a little bit more work and give us even more questions. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this. You get to listen to Peter tell great stories because he is a fantastic storyteller. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live.
Talking about baby stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we said all these things and realized that you guys couldn't see or hear us. But hi, thank you for coming and being after hours with us. This is going to be awesome. We can't wait to see all of your questions. I think they started to roll in, right?
Yep.
Perfect. We also thought you guys just didn't want to ask us anything, so we kept saying like, send us your questions and nothing.
The first question is advice for new actors.
Run.
Don't do it. No.
Hold on one second. Natasha will send you your prize. So producers will deal with that at the end.
Okay. Advice for young actors. I think one just like, which is like sometimes harder said than done, but like continue to have fun and not let all of the outside kind of things shift why you started doing this in the first place? Because I remember going through this phase where like I cared so much about every move I made and everything that I did that it didn't make the actual like acting part of it fun for me. And then when I got back to the basics of that, it became this really beautiful thing again.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I would say continue to do it as much as you can because it's like going to the gym and some muscles. So like, if there's a school play, do it and make some movies with your friends, you know, and don't worry about like being discovered and all that. Just kind of continue working on like getting as much experience as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, let the universe kind of guide you. And one day you'll be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
But you'll feel confident because you'll have done all the work.
Yeah.
You know?
And try everything, and you won't be great at everything, but
Yeah.
you'll always improve for sure.
I'm just over here catching up on the questions. Da-da-da.
Oh yeah, Maddie.
just saw
Maddie
that.
Cullen, we hear that you just got engaged.
Congrats.
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Hmm.
I loved being engaged. Also, stay engaged for a while.
Yeah.
Enjoy that part of your life.
Okay. From Life of Traveler's Wife, what would you go back to school for if you had vampire time?
Ooh, I think criminal psychology.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go back to school for it. I'd like law. Law would be cool, being a lawyer. You could be like a doctor and a lawyer.
Yeah.
Be fun.
You'd be
Car
you
lawyer?
would know everything.
Car
lawyer. So
bad.
Favorite part of playing Carlisle and Alice?
You go first.
I mean, my favorite part about her, I think, is just like she was so kind of outside the box. Like I think she really didn't care what people thought of her and always just brought this, like had this zest for life and saw the beauty and everything. And I really like that a lot. Like I think there was so much kind of positivity that came from her because she wasn't worried about what anyone thought about her. And I love that.
I love that Carlisle's like the leader of this family, and he's like the rock of the family. And but what I really love about playing Carlisle is being able to like, you know, work with this lady right here and some fantastic actors, and then also, you know, being here with you guys, like the Twilight fan base. I mean, years later, we're still doing this, and this is because of you guys. So
yeah, it's pretty.
You
neat.
know,
I also think
cool.
it's really wonderful that both of you are so continuously engaging with Twilight things. That everyone is, and I know that the fans really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I think
really
we're
cool.
fans too. You know, I said
can
this
tell.
last time. Like, I went to. It was the first time I had been there. Did you ever go to the town?
Forks?
Yeah, Forks.
I keep saying, I know there's
Forever
like,
Forks?
There's a museum there.
There's like a
now that I really
museum
wanna go
there,
to.
and they have like a parking spot for Carlisle. And so
Did
they
you just like pull right in
Yeah,
and you were
pulled
like,
right in.
it's me.
I was like,
In your
Carlisle lives
Volvo?
here. In the Carlisle mobile. But when I got there, like it was the first time that I actually went because we didn't film in Forks. But they had like cosplay, you know, so they had these actors that were like, and I was like, wow, Carlisle's so tall.
They're like, you're not Carlisle.
And I was like so mesmerized by the Cullen family because I got this. They were there in front of me, and I was like totally fanboyed out. I was like,
Yeah, I'm like, when I go there, do I go dressed as Alice or as myself? That is the question.
That is a tough
I've got to get there.
question.
Now. There's been like, on
Well, yeah, we're gonna go rent the house.
two separate. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
rent
they have
Bella's house.
Bella's house.
You need to do a whole trip.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
All right, from Addie, what was the worst trouble you've gotten into on the set of Twilight?
Probably the doll.
The doll, definitely the doll.
We almost got our phones
Yeah.
revoked.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do not lick ears.
Yeah, don't lick weird Bella Corpse ears. Guys.
Happy birthday to Tori.
Happy birthday!
Happy
Thank you for being here on
birthday.
your birthday.
All right, from Stephanie, if Alice and Carlisle could have their own spin-off movie or series, what stuff would you want to have revealed about their character or history?
Everything.
Oh,
I mean, Carlisle's got 300 years of history, so that's a lot of.
I
That's a
should
lot
say
of
he looks
seasons.
really good for 300.
Yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't look
yeah.
a day over 200.
I mean,
Um,
I would have a party planning service for sure. I feel like I would want to like really go into though. I feel like I would love if they like went into our backstories first and then like caught everyone up to
Mhm.
where we are because I think our backstories are so interesting.
Yeah, super cool. they should do a spinoff with all that. That'd be fun.
Gosh, I would love a spinoff.
Just do that. And like we can come on and be producers on it.
Mm.
Great.
Talby is having a baby right around the same time as yours.
Congratulations.
That's exciting.
Amazing.
I hope your pregnancy has been amazing.
From Bethany, how do you think Twilight affected the generations growing up and their expectations of love and relationships, etc.?
Ooh. I mean, I certainly hope that it made people set their standards a little bit higher of how they expected to be loved unconditionally.
This is literally my Twilight story, which is kind of funny, which you can catch in the first episode.
Yeah. But I liked that aspect of it. I think it's interesting because generations past, I think like if you look at now kind of this resurgence, what people are picking up on is maybe it's a bit intense. And if it wasn't in the context of like vampire and human, it's not exactly appropriate for high school. But I will say kind of like knowing the context of it and the backstory that there is something really wonderful about being someone's, everything and then loving you unconditionally.
I think it's fun to see like all different generations kind of connect with it, that it's kind of timeless, no pun intended. And that new generations watch it and they're just as affected as like, the ones that came before.
Why were all the Cullens late to lunch in Twilight? Alex 7, that's a wonderful question. That's really funny. I mean,
that's when the slow motion
because the slow motion
in.
had to kick in. I feel like because we're just that cool. There's only one street into the school from our house, and there was a deer.
Yeah, they went out and had their own lunch, and then they would come in.
So we didn't eat.
Yeah,
people.
So that's why, right? You were out having
just
your
a
own
little
lunch.
nibble, so that we didn't want to eat the humans. I feel like, or Alice was like, "I got an outfit change."
I love the voice. All right, from Mariah, will there be podcast merch?
Maybe. But it definitely
we
cups. Don't
currently.
Sweat jackets, t-shirts, bandanas coming your way.
Bandanas.
Except they're going to say Carlizzle, not Carlo.
What else have we got here?
When you know more, you can do more. What if you could use science to discover more about your body? Find out what you need to know for your healthier tomorrow with Everlywell.
Everlywell is a digital healthcare designed for you, all at an affordable and transparent price. With over 30 at-home lab tests, you'll be able to choose the test that makes the most sense for you to get the answers that you need, like the Women's Health Test or Food Sensitivity Test. Everlywell also has high-quality vitamins and supplements to support your overall health. Choose from a variety of options, including vitamin D3 and omega-3 fish oil.
Here's how it works. Everlywell ships products straight to you with everything you need in one package. To take your at-home lab test, simply collect your sample and use the included prepaid shipping label to mail your test back to a certified lab. Your physician-reviewed results get sent to your phone or device in just days. It is so simple. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell to support their health and wellness goals. And you should too. Yes, have you started taking your B12 yet?
No, I ordered it. I'm waiting for it.
I'm excited to hear what you think, but it is, for me, a super important part of my day. So I got D12 and B12, I got D3 and B12 from Everlywell and just entered it into my daily routine. The D3 is actually gummy, so it's kind of like an adult treat that is good for you. And then the B12 is a capsule, but they are now like a staple in my routine to make sure that I'm, doing everything to keep my body running the way that it should so that I can also take care of my kid.
Especially when you're breastfeeding.
Oh, yeah. And it couldn't be more important because you're constantly, getting stripped of all these vitamins and nutrients. So I will be coming back to Everlywell over and over and over again for their tests.
And for listeners of the show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/Twilight Effect. That's everlywell.com/Twilight Effect for 20% off your at-home lab test. everlywell.com/Twilight Effect.
Would you rather have a hybrid wolf vampire or keep the bloodline pure? If the former, which vampire and wolf would it be? That's from Twihard 123.
Yeah, I feel like better together.
I mean, if you get frozen as a wolf, do you stay a wolf? Kind of like when you get bit as a vampire, you kind of stay that age? Or do you? Well, I guess if it's a hybrid, it would be able to change itself back to human.
Yeah, but
Right?
you'd probably still be, you'd stop aging.
Yeah.
So but you could just, but then I think it would be great because then you could just turn into the animal, eat another animal like a normal animal,
Yeah,
and then
you
turn
could
back to the
actually
human.
eat regularly, so it would be able to like eat burgers and stuff like that. And then also, but it would be forever. So you'd be a werewolf forever, basically.
Yeah, a werewolf or vampire. You could just morph into both.
So vampires only drink the blood; they don't eat the people, right? Because who's to say you can't have like a human hamburger?
I mean, if you're a werewolf hybrid, you could, I guess.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I feel like
Yeah.
the possibilities are endless, and I'm here for that. You also probably could just like, you'd probably also be warm, so people, it wouldn't be a dead giveaway.
A dead giveaway.
I'm here all week.
Can't write this stuff.
Oh man. All right, from Bella. If your character had to fall in love with a human, not their vampire counterpart, who would you pick?
Your character had to fall in love with a human. Oh. Humans are so boring. Just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like one of the human cast.
Yeah, I'm like, there's just not a lot of like humans to pick from.
No, I don't know who Carlisle could hook up with. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's who would Alice choose?
Mike,
Oof.
Eric.
Yeah. No, Mr. Molina.
Mr. Molina and the Golden Onion.
I would probably just like choose like another doctor from your.
Yeah, I should go for the doctors. I mean, there's nobody that's age appropriate for Carlisle because he's 300. So like,
yeah, no, that's a good one. But there's not a lot of humans to pick from in this.
All right, from Noelle. What is Peter's favorite film that he has been in?
all of them.
They're all great. Go see them all.
Go see them all. No, it's hard. That's a hard question because, like, my litmus test has always been if I read a script, I always think to myself, am I going to be excited on the way to work? You know, and if I could say yes, then I'll do the project because, so then if it's successful or not successful or everybody sees it or nobody sees it, I still had the best time making it because I had a passion for that project. So, so I was asking I could say Twilight because I mean,
it's such an extraordinary.
It's such an extraordinary experience, and but I also love some that may be more obscure that you guys probably haven't seen.
Those are like the passion projects.
So all of them have been fun.
Literally, go watch all of them.
This is a great question. From Sabrina, instead of repeating high school every time, what do you think your character would be doing?
Definitely not high school. I think I would have a wedding planning service. Party planning. And like my own fashion line.
That would make sense.
I mean, do you guys technically have to go to high school? Can you just like hang out at the Cullen house? I guess.
No, we have to like act like we're young. That's the problem.
Well, you could be like homeschooled.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, why don't you homeschool us?
I mean, it's kind of torturous to be like, you guys go mingle with the food.
That's true. He just wants to test
our
limitations.
I'm just testing them.
Yeah.
If they could just be in a cafeteria full of people, then they pass the test.
Jaspers.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Where in the world would you like to live as a vampire?
Barcelona.
Italy.
Everything's Barcelona because I want to live there as a human also.
Yeah, Barcelona's cool.
Yeah. I've never been.
Did you go to the big church there?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Oh, it's so good. But Italy also.
Okay. From Andrea, is there a scene that you filmed that got cut that you wish had made it into the film?
I didn't cut any of my scenes. I'm just kidding.
I think they're actually on the
extended
the extended versions. So those scenes are there. I don't remember. There's one scene with Esme that I remember that got cut, but they put it in the extended version. Or it's like extended scenes. Like if you go to the end of the DVD, you'll see them.
She just watched was it in Twilight?
Sorry, I was reading the questions. What?
Oh, you're like, there's a new scene in there.
Oh my goodness, I was watching it last night. Don't ask me why I watched Twilight so much, but I was watching the one on, was it Netflix last night?
Yeah.
And the scene before So it's after she is in biology with Edward for the first time, and he's like, not very nice about it. She smells, he's whatever. And then before the scene where she chats to her mom on the phone and she's like, everybody's just great, that whole thing. Right before that, they're in the diner. She's with Charlie and he's asking her about any friends she's met. And she's like, yeah, I've met a few people, what do you know about the Cullens? And he's like, why are people talking about them? And I'm like, this scene has never.
I remember this scene.
And I'm going to feel so incredibly ridiculous if it's in the regular because I've seen Twilight hundreds of times.
Ask
you guys chime in here.
Chime in.
I felt like I had never seen this scene before. And he had said that there's a lot of word about them, but they're a lovely family. I do not need to keep eyes on them. Like they're not like the other hooligans who do, stupid stuff. And then he said a line like, he doesn't like gossip or something along those lines.
Try it like this.
That's funny. And I was really floored because I have never seen a version of the movie with a new scene just all of a sudden cut in, especially 15 years later.
Are you sure, or did you just forget?
How much wine did you have last night?
I don't.
Did she have the cactus with her?
I'm telling you, extended version. It was not the regular one.
It wasn't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's there now. It rocks you when you see something like that. You're like, am I going crazy right now? This whole scene just appears 15 years later.
That's cool, though.
It is totally
Are my love
cool.
scenes with Esme in there? No.
Rewatch it tonight and let us know.
Yeah, everyone says extended version.
That's awesome.
That was really wild.
Ooh, this is a good question.
Yeah.
Do you have advice for script writing and directing? I don't.
From
Zelda. I haven't
Zelda.
done it, but
yes, script writing. Finish the script because so many people
just start.
Finish it because a lot of times they have an idea and then you start to write it and then it goes in a drawer and then you just don't finish it. Most people don't finish a script. So I'll tell you a little story about the first thing I wrote. It's really sad actually. I was like in my 20s and I wrote this script about I called it Henry the Happy Hippo. And it was about an actor who like ends up on a kid show and he's in one of those hippo costumes, right? Mm-hmm. But he's a Juilliard trained actor. So he's kind of famous, but he's not famous. And so, everywhere he goes, he sees this hippo on billboards and lunchboxes, but nobody knows who he is. He's the guy inside the suit. And then he has this audition that he's going to do. And it's like, they really like him for it. And he gets into an accident on the way. And then he falls in love with the girl who basically, he ran into. First he hates her, then he loves her. And then he realizes what's more important in life. And it's a cute little story. That's and adorable. I wrote that and I gave it to my agents and my agent looked at me and he goes, I said, did you read the script? He goes, Peter. And I go, what? Peter. And I go, it's not good? And he goes, Peter. Oh, no. And I was just like, wow, I guess he didn't like it. I was so embarrassed, but I was like, he wouldn't even say it was bad. He just kind of laughed at it. So I put it in a drawer, and over the years, I kept picking it up, working on it, picking it up, working on it. And then years later, I actually sold it and made it at the Hallmark Channel, and it got made. So don't give up on it, no matter how bad it is.
Cup of tea.
But it was probably bad, and over the years, as I worked on it and fine-tuned it, as long as you finish the script, you have a working draft that you could actually, continue to work on. So just continue working on it. Give it to people, get notes, work on it. Give it to other people, get notes, work on it. And then keep giving it to people.
Yeah.
So whatever, dude, I got it made.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
Yeah.
All right, from Samantha. In BD2, how did the dance-off go behind scenes? What was your reaction to the idea?
Love it.
Whose idea was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But everyone jumped in.
I think it was some new cast members' ideas.
Yeah. It was definitely fresh young blood.
Yeah, it was like they were so excited. They were like, let's do a dance-off. We were like, all right. And then we went off and we were doing rehearsals for it. I was like, oh, this is a real thing. We're going to actually do a whole rehearsal. And then how did we? Oh, I think it's in the DVDs.
It's
right?
the extras. Yeah.
I think that they asked
wanna
me,
know
and
whose
I
idea it
asked
was.
for the dance of something. We were talking about Renesmee or something, and I was like, let's settle this in a dance off, and we did. I thought we were gonna get in trouble because when you're doing movies and you mess around, they get mad at you because the sun's going down.
they're like, "That's an
they're on a
expensive
schedule.
joke."
That's an
Yeah.
expensive joke.
Yeah.
But they laughed. They had a good sense of humor.
It was like the end, and
Yeah.
everyone was in it. They couldn't get mad at everyone.
They couldn't get mad at everybody.
Yeah.
All right, from Dre, what was your reaction to reading the end of BD2?
Yes. Like the gotcha.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, I
Oh,
have
yeah.
to assume.
Oh yeah, I
That's-
was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, because it's again, like I've said this before, like it's so exciting to be able to like kind of pull one over on someone without really offending them, because we knew obviously for the most part we had to stick pretty closely to the book. But I thought it was like such a brilliant way to like spice up the end of this movie. And who doesn't love an epic fight scene?
Mm.
Like I feel like there's so many people who were like, especially the guys that were watching, were just like, yes. Like they wanted to see some like vampire
Well, yeah,
action.
it was tough to do because in the book they all kind of got together and like there was nothing climatic, so
Yeah.
it was kind of a very ingenious way to actually make action and make it climatic, without tarnishing the book.
Yeah.
What the book was meant to be at the end. But I was kind of bummed, to be honest, because like Carlisle gets his head cut off, and then I didn't get to do any action stuff. So
That's true.
So like everybody was like
Oh.
having fun, doing their stunts, and I'd watch them like stunt training and sliding through the snow and flipping people, and I'd be my
You're
head
like, what did
got
I
cut.
do
I was
to
like,
you?
I'm on the bench, because my head had already gotten cut off, so I'm just kind of sitting there watching everybody else kind of do all
Your
the
head was
action.
sitting there watching.
I mean, I had one stunt. Yeah, I just put the head down. I was like,
Wait, hold
I'll be
on.
at my
Do
trailer.
you have a face? Did you have the same thing that Michael Sheen had, the face cast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the face.
Does somebody own it now?
I mean, I have it. I carry it everywhere with me. No.
I'm like, who
it's
has
hanging
it?
from my rearview mirror in
who
my
has
car.
who has Peter's head?
Someone's got to have
Somebody's
it.
got to have it.
But yeah, I was like, it's just funny because I thought, oh, now I get to do action. This is great. And then I had one stunt, and then everybody else was doing all this stuff,
Yeah.
falling into crevices and like.
You were like, go team.
Yeah.
Go team, go.
I was like, man, Carlisle doesn't get to do anything. He doesn't get to deliver the baby. He didn't get to go to Italy. You went to Italy.
Yeah, I did.
I was like, why did I
I
always
remember
leave
Cullen
Carlisle
being
out?
like, "Are you kidding?" I was
I was like,
"See
you
you
sure
later, buddy."
Carlisle's not in the Italy scenes?
Dude, Alice lucked out for real. Italy fight scene.
I mean, when she was pregnant, I was like, oh, yes, I'm the doctor. I'll be able to deliver the baby. And then I was like out of town, just like regular doctors. Usually regular doctors are like, oh, he's at a golf tournament. But he was supposed to deliver the baby.
Here's his assistant. Okay. Who of the cast is actually a Twihard? Well, I mean, okay, listen, you guys set the bar really high. So like, we're really big fans of the movie.
Yeah.
And have such an immense love for it. But like, I don't know if you would call us Twihards because it's like,
we don't know the details as much as you guys know way more than we do. I feel like I failed that whole quiz
Yeah.
before.
But like, we love it in a different way.
I love it in a different way.
Yeah, for sure.
You can tell because you guys keep showing up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't,
Which
we're
is
like,
great.
we're here for all of us, but it is really like, we talk about this, we're like, we're the best fans in the world. And it's so incredible, the knowledge that everyone has and the kind of amount of detail that everyone knows. And it's like, we could never live up to that.
I mean, I can't even live up to it. If you knew how many times I've seen Twilight,
Yeah.
I
you
mean,
guys
I'm
are
telling you,
awesome.
like, we had parties. We have pictures of having like Twilight parties and still.
Yeah.
Do
these
you have
people-
drinking games ever? Like every time somebody does something, you take a drink? And,
No, but you know what we did do? We went to a wine place. It's not really, I guess it's like a tasting room. I think it's in Beverly Hills and it's called Vampire Wine. And we drove there just to get vampire wine to have it at our party.
Oh, that's cool.
And I am like not a Twihard to a lot of these people because it just like after 15 years,
You
a
lose
lot-
some of it.
you lose some of it. But these, I mean, they are like, they know it all. And
Yeah.
they'll catch you up on every
Yeah,
single detail.
we were talking about that. There was a clip online the other day of a Twilight marathon, and you guys knew all of the lines,
the
and they were like
lines.
saying them with the movie, and I was so impressed. I
Yeah.
barely knew my lines while we were filming, so so for you guys,
so now
to know,
it's, all bets are off.
yeah.
I think everyone deserves to have a Twilight marathon in their local theater.
Yeah.
And like now
It'd
is
be
the
like
time.
the Little Shop of Horrors, just like everybody shows up. It's you guys are too young for that.
I am not
reference.
too young for that
You know
reference.
that reference?
Yeah.
Yeah. People used to go to that.
Feed me,
movie.
Seymour.
Yeah. I don't even know the movie, but I know that it was like a thing.
great
People
movie.
would go and
Yeah.
they would like, have these parties and celebrate the.
We'll have a
film.
party.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
We'll have a dance off at the movie theater.
From Emily, favorite gift from a fan and favorite fan moment.
Well, this is our last question. We better make this answer good.
Better make it good.
Favorite gift from a fan. I'm always just really like I've had some really incredible drawings that I have that they've done of myself and of Alice that I'm always just kind of blown away by. And there's always like, wonderful like sentimental letters on the back. And it's just but honestly go back and look at those and I'm just like, this is if you're ever having a bad day.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
got a
sweet.
beautiful letter from a fan once too. And it's just like you said, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
To see how moved they are by just coming, meeting us and so that's lovely. I had a fan ask me to sign her arm, and then she came back later that day and had it tattooed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We were just
And,
talking about that.
Yeah. Nerve-wracking,
Yes.
honestly, though. Too,
It
'cause
is
you're like,
nerve-wracking. I mean, I was super humbled by it, and I thought, well, that's dedication. But then you're like, oh, I hope that I have to keep acting now because otherwise,
stay
like
relevant.
15 years, if I'm not relevant anymore, they'll be like, who's that? Oh, some guy from 20 years ago.
This
So I have to
dude.
keep doing it just for that fan.
forever. Favorite fan moment. That's a hard one because I'm like, there's just so many incredible moments where I think, I'm always really blown away when people tell me that Twilight or Alice was something that brought them out of maybe a darker or depressing time and allowed them to be able to kind of reconnect and find themselves again and use this film as kind of maybe an escape for a moment and something that brings them joy and happiness is always something that really touches my heart because I think there is nothing more that you want as an artist than to be a part of a piece of work like this and have such a positive impact on people. So that's really special to me.
I totally agree. And like, the beautiful thing with this movie is just seeing how so many people came together,
Mhm.
I mean, look at us. This brought us together, it brought you guys together. And I always was so impressed by that. Even when I used to go to the premieres and people would tent,
Yeah.
and sleep out in the streets just to like go to the premiere, but they made like lifelong friends.
Mhm.
And just seeing mothers and daughters and like grandmothers and like all together bonding with a family and making best friends over this movie. I mean, that's such a treat to watch, and be a part of. And so I'm gonna end with my favorite fan moment being this one because it's been years and you guys are still here.
Yeah, that's true. I love that.
All the generations.
Now we're at an end. That's a beautiful way to wrap this up. Thank you all so much for being here with us and for all of your wonderful questions and truly being the best fans ever. I want to let you guys know that the winners will receive a follow-up email from the producers, so look out for that. And thank you again. Stay tuned for Twilight Tuesday. We have an awesome next guest. Have a beautiful night.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much. We love you.
Well, that brought me back.
I know.
That was so much fun.
It was so much fun. It almost feels like a year ago.
It does kind of feel like I wish we could do more of those. That was so
I know,
fun.
that was really
That'll be my next push.
Yeah. But we would definitely have to wait until after the holidays because I feel like now we're getting into that time where like everyone's just like, we're going to shut down, do fun things with our family.
I need a shutdown. My body's trying to shut down on me
Yeah,
right
you have
now.
no choice. Your body's like, you will shut down. But that would be fun to do some more of that because it is. We honestly, I say this all the time, but we really lucked out with our cast that everyone's just so charismatic and so kind and also as excited to kind of review this stuff as we are. So who knows? Who knows, everyone?
I would love to do an in-person one.
What? Like an in-person live?
I would love to do it. Yeah.
Well,
Right?
we'll see.
Have you done that? I mean, obviously you've done that, right? What is that like is that what a That's not really what a book signing is. Like, have you done that where you, like a press room or something?
we do
I don't know what I'm
like
talking
fan
about.
Q&As and press Q&As. Like at Comic-Con, like you always walk out and there's this like big panel and we all sit there with mics and take fan questions and there's a moderator.
So in that situation, people have paid to go to Comic-Con. I've never been. Do they then have to pay extra to sit in a room and do the Q&A?
I don't know, but I imagine so.
That would be cool. I'd like to do that too. If we can get that rolling, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I
too.
imagine that it's like
I just want all the experiences I can get out of this.
We're just going to do Twilight forever. Well, I feel like first we're going to do the Bella Swan house. Now that I've met the owner.
I cannot flip and wait for that. Okay, I'm holding you to it.
Pretty flippin' cool. Okay, so that's all we have for you for this episode. Next week, we're going to be back with a brand new episode that you don't want to miss. It's going to be filled with fun and probably bloopers, and we'll see how it goes.
Ooh, bloopers.
Ooh, bloopers.
Ooh, bloopers.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to write into twilight@casmedia.com if you have any questions for us, or you can leave a voicemail at speakpipe.com/twilight. Keep dropping those ratings and reviews because it really helps us out. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show. We'll see you next week.